Alright, let's do it. Crash and Burn, the Amy Schumer story. Crash and Burn. Did she actually have anything to begin with, to be honest? I don't think she was, like, really popular. It was really forced.
Amy Schumer. If ever there was a celebrity destined for a Crash and Burn episode, it was her.
Sure.
Just a few years ago, she was one of the most popular female comedians of all time, with a string of successful stand-up tours, movie deals, Netflix specials, endorsements, fawning magazine articles, and all the apparatus of the Hollywood industrial complex behind her. A woman who was not only—
this movie I watched, and I never watched another Amy Schumer like movie ever again. I forget what this was even about. It was so forgettable. Like, you know, like up and coming girl goes to a new job, like whatever. I don't remember anything about this, and I never watched it again. I think I might have been on an airplane too.
theoretically funny and a box office draw, but an outspoken feminist and activist who somehow managed to position herself behind every major trend and movement that looked to be gaining traction. But it turns out that Amy Schumer's towering empire was built on a shaky foundation of stolen material, questionable talent, high-profile controversies, a massively inflated ego, box office flops, and extremely shitty personal conduct. And eventually, it all came crashing down in the kind of slow-motion train wreck that was less a spectacular implosion and more like death by 1,000 cuts. Ooh. So join me, your humble drinker, as we explore Crash and Burn, the Amy Schumer story. Schumer was born in 1981 in New York's Upper East Side, the daughter of wealthy Jewish and Protestant parents. Her dad ran a successful furniture business, and the family enjoyed a pretty cushy life for much of Amy's childhoods. The good times weren't to last, though. The business eventually went bankrupt when she was 9, and her parents divorced a couple of years later. Oh wow, another troubled celebrity whose parents divorced at a young age. What are the odds, eh? Anyway, Amy soon discovered an interest in the performing arts and ended up studying theatre in college before eventually drifting into comedy. By the mid-2000s, she was a regular on the New York stand-up circuit, and in 2007, she made it to 4th place on the reality show Last Comic Standing, where she impressed the judges with her mixture of dark, raunchy humour and ironic self-reflection. Positioned as a young up-and-coming talent with a sharp edge,
But if that's not your only gig, I can already tell where this is going based off how she's developed over the years, seeing clips here and there. That's her only shtick. Self-deprecation and, like, just shitting all over herself and making gross ass, like, just making gross comments about how gross it is to be a girl and trying to make it, like, about how, like, it's just, women are just the same as men, they're grody, and it's like,
soon booking guest roles in shows like 30 Rock, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Girls, but Amy had her sights set on bigger things. Her 2012 comedy special, Mostly Sex Stuff, was what really put her on the map as a major player, and it basically set the tone for her entire sense of humour going forward. Crude, dark, self-deprecating, and weirdly obsessed with the workings of her own body. Oh my goodness, a female comedian whose entire act revolves around sex and dating.
I mean, again, I don't see comedians talking about their pee-pee all the time. It gets old.
Whatever will they think of next? I mean, personally, watching an out-of-shape 30-something New Yorker spending 2 hours talking about what her vagina looks and smells like sounds about as funny as a cancer diagnosis, but
I'm a girl and I don't want to even hear that. Hello?
each to their own, I guess. Comedy truly is subjective, and somehow hers was working big time. Amy was soon being positioned as the next big thing, more edgy and daring than her contemporaries, willing to push boundaries and make fun of herself, and pretty soon she made the transition from guest star to movie star. 2015's Trainwreck, where she played a drunken, promiscuous—
It just feels forced. Who asked, man? All it took for me was one movie, and I just didn't want to watch her anymore. Again, I know that people's, some actors and some comedians, they have their own, their go-to shtick, but having it just like, my vagina is so nasty. I don't know, I feel like it gets old after like 3 times.
Party girl that was basically just a toned-down version of herself was well received by critics and went on to make 140 million.
And what have we said about critics? They can always be bought.
At the box office against a 35 million budget. By now, Amy was riding high with a string of successful comedy shows, TV appearances, favourable news coverage, and a promising film career. What could possibly go wrong? Well, quite a lot as it turned out. The warning signs were there as early as 2011 during the roast of Charlie Sheen, where she made her joke.
Oh, that was infamous! Oh, God. Okay, no, I'm not going to spoil it. It's about him, isn't it?
About the recent death of Ryan Dunn in front of his best friend Steve-O. Yeah. And well, it didn't exactly go down like she hoped.
And I know you must have been thinking it could have been me, and I know we were all thinking, why wasn't it?
Jesus Christ, if even Steve-O doesn't see the funny side, you know you've fucked up.
Yikes, man. Like, it's just... Don't they prepare this kind of thing? Like, who said that it would be okay to do that? He was this close to start crying. Yeah, didn't it happen like a less than 6 months before that?
But okay, fine, every comedian has an off day, I guess. Her first real mistake
was... I don't know, man, that's a pretty off day. I think that's terrible, man. Don't make jokes about like that.
Was one that many celebrities have fallen victim to over the years. Politics. She'd always been outspoken about her political views, but during the 2016 presidential race, she really kicked it into high gear. At a show in Tampa, Florida, Amy decided to take a break from talking about her vagina to go on an extended rant about how much she hated the Orange Man and how everyone needed to vote for Hillary Clinton instead because she said so, really well, prompting boos from the audience and causing hundreds of people to walk out.
It was just cool to hear one guy who doesn't seem like a psychopath, why he would want to vote for that orange assaulting fake college started.
Hold on, okay, hot take, maybe actually I take it back. Cold take, common take. I don't care if comedians make fun of the president, no matter who it is at the time. Doesn't bother me. Everyone should be allowed to be a target. That's the entire purpose of comedy. If you start to police what can and can't be like made fun of, then comedy dies. But I don't think that's what happened here. What she's talking about doesn't sound like a joke. It sounds like a lecture. There's no delivery, there's no punchline, there's no like a ha-ha moment. I think that's her mistake. If you wanted to support Hillary Clinton in the election back then as a comedian, I don't think you should do this personally. Politics is often career suicide. You should have actually made funny jokes about Trump and made people laugh. There's people who are plenty supportive of Trump that have made jokes about him before. But instead what she did, she tried the moral high ground and lecture people about him. That doesn't work. People don't like that. You completely fumbled the bag here. It's really embarrassing. And again, it shows that she's not actually a good comedian. She doesn't think about what she's saying. She just regurgitates other people's jokes.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Fucking hell, man. I'm not even a comedian, and even I understand how to read a room. Shit like that might have played well in New York or LA, but in a red state like Florida, it went down about as well as a stripper at a funeral. Not only had she waded into the middle of the most divisive election in living memory and alienated half her audience in the process, but the cracks were beginning to show in her comedy armor as well. People were beginning to notice that there wasn't a whole lot of variety in her comedy show.
That's literally said that 4 minutes ago. I didn't know that this was how she came to be with her my vagina jokes back when she first started. I only saw the tail end, and the fact that she hasn't changed at all and gotten new material shows that she's just not very smart.
Every one of them was just her talking about getting blackout drunk, sleeping with lots of guys, going on awkward dates, and how disgusting she found her own body. This all culminated with 2017's Leather special on Netflix, which was an unmitigated disaster, rehashing the same tired material she'd been using.
Even fat male comedians, their entire existence isn't about being fat. They make jokes outside of that. I forget what his name was. It was that fat comedian. Oh, God, what was his name? There's a lot of them, but, oh, gosh. Was he from Hawaii? Yeah, Gabriel. Was it Gabriel? There was a Hawaiian comedian too, but I can't remember his name. Was it Fluffy? Yeah, I think it was Fluffy, was it? Anyway, it's not important. There's a lot of male comedians that's not their entire fucking, like, shtick. No, he's Mexican? No, not Gabriel, the other one. There's a Hawaiian one. I can't remember. It's not
for
important.
years, horribly delivered with no sense of timing or enthusiasm, and getting brutal reviews from audiences and critics.
Blacking out, blacked out, blackout. Pussies, pussy.
Pussy. Bro, you say it more than I do on stream. I don't even like using that word, I'm not gonna lie.
My pussy. Blacked out. Pussy.
Yeah, I don't know.
The complaints and backlash against her were mounting, but weirdly, for
funny.
someone who made a career out of self-deprecating humour, Amy turned out to be surprisingly thin.
I think if you're a woman, it's like also just kind of weird to like... Being feminine is about, like, you know... being not stinky and, you know, women don't poop. Like, my chat makes that joke all the time. I think it breaks immersion with boys.
Skinned when it came to criticism directed at her. You might think this would have been a good opportunity to reflect on her creative choices and maybe change course a little, but nope, her ego just wouldn't allow for it. Her standard response was to dismiss her critics as
There it is. Viewers aren't happy with my special. It's an alt-right organized troll attack on everything I do. Everything is about someone else's fault. It's not my fault.
haters, misogynists, and right-wing chuds who just
Wait, why does that remind me of all the video game journalists that get really upset when you don't like a game that they like? No, it's the incels boycotting it. No.
handle her political views instead of acknowledging that maybe her act was becoming kind of stale and predictable.
No.
She was also remarkably tetchy about the body she'd spent so long making fun of. After spending years advocating for more plus-sized women in media, Glamour magazine rewarded her by including her in their chic at any size art.
What? I know this has been said so many times, but it's so funny when women say like, oh, all sizes are beautiful. Alana, all sizes are beautiful. You don't get it. Lizzo is beautiful. And then if you call a woman Lizzo, then she freaks out and says, how dare you call me fat? Ah! Are you kidding me? You're such a bitch! This is what you wanted!
Article, which caused her to get all pissy at the implication she was overweight. I mean, no offense.
But what do you mean? But you said that all women are beautiful, but then when people call you thick, it's not acceptable.
You ever looked in a fucking mirror? You've also got to appreciate the irony there. Hey,
dude, like... I know, Aspen's not streaming today, so I have a lot of roaches in here. I'm sure all of you can attest something he says commonly is that lots and lots of women love to be super duper empathetic and gas up fat girls and tell them they're beautiful. But if someone tells that girl that they look like a fat chick, they'll get butthurt, like the Lizzo shit. This is just such a, like, how does this happen so often? I don't understand. It happens all the time. No, you can't say that. No.
There's nothing wrong with being plus-sized. In fact, it should be celebrated. But don't ever call me that. It all just painted the impression of a prickly, arrogant, egotistical celebrity who was far removed from her self-deprecating comedy persona. Worse was soon to come though, when it was revealed that a lot of the jokes from her comedy routines seemed to have been plagiarized from other comedians like Tammy Pescatelli, Kathleen Madigan, Wendy Liebman, and Patrice O'Neill, amongst.
She couldn't even make up her own, like, fat or nasty vagine jokes? That's pathetic.
Others. Before you could say talentless hack, YouTube was awash with compilation videos showing Amy's jokes and comedy skits, and the material they seem to have been inspired by. This is one of the big no-nos in the comedy world. You never steal other people's stuff, and if
That's a career death in comedy, by the way. Yeah, and it shows that she can't develop anything herself. And it makes sense, because she tried to go with it for so long. She couldn't come up with new material because other people thought, oh, well, damn, if she's stealing my jokes, I guess I just won't make any jokes anymore.
Happen to, even
People
by
notice
accident,
that kind of
you
shit.
absolutely have to come clean and apologise. Once again, though, Amy's response was just to deny everything and dismiss her critics as sexists and losers. It hadn't really worked before, and with the mountain of evidence piling up against her, it definitely wasn't working now. Public opinion was shifting rapidly. The magazine article...
Why are you stealing jokes when people record everything under the sun? I understand there's always been hacks, but like... This is crazy, man. You remember I was going to do joke fest sometimes? Just to stop like a joke spot in his words. But the difference is that Robin Williams had his own material. And he developed his own style over time. I understand. We actually watched an entire video on Robin Williams and how people accused him of stealing, which he admitted to, and he apologized for. This woman didn't apologize either. She said, nah, you're just a bunch of incels. You're just mad.
That used to fawn over her were now openly critical of her career and questioning her declining popularity. All wasn't well on the movie front either. Her next big project, I Feel Pretty, about a fat woman who gets brain damage and is convinced she's now slim and attractive. Fucking...
Oh my God. No, are you serious? What is it called? What is it called?
All wasn't well on the movie front either. Her next big project, I Feel Pretty, about a fat woman who gets brain damage and is convinced she's...
Bro, that's... No, you're trolling. Hold on, let me read the synopsis. Shows Losa's images of the website. She wishes to at a fountain to be beautiful, and the next day she falls, hitting her head, waking up with the belief that her appearance has magically changed. Oh my God. Who wrote this? Like, how was this okayed?
Now slim and attractive, fuck it, just go with it, was supposed to be a feel-good comeback that played to her self-deprecating humour, but instead provoked a storm of backlash with the unintended...
It's funny because she's actually not that fucking fat.
...implication that women can only feel confident through
She's like on the chubby side, she's not like fucking massively overweight. I think it would have been a lot funnier if she was like 400 pounds.
Illusion. The movie was absolutely lambasted by critics and audiences alike, and further damaged her comedy credentials. More and more she was beginning to look out of touch and, well, just not that funny anymore. Then there was the stuff that just made her look like a generally shitty human being, like willingly taking photos with fans on the street only to bitch about it later on social media to make herself seem like a victim of harassment, or openly bragging about sleeping with a guy who was so blackout drunk that he didn't even know what was happening to him.
If the roles were reversed, that would be immediate jail for the man. Am I crazy for that? I feel like that would be immediate repercussions for that. And then bragging about it too? That's rape? Yes, dude.
Flip the genders for a second there and just imagine how that must look.
That's a no-no word.
The cumulative effect
Oh my God, give me a fucking warning before you put that in my ear holes.
All these high-profile setbacks and negative publicity was a career downturn that makes Brie Larson's look like a controlled landing. She was still bagging the occasional movie role, but usually as a supporting actor in low-budget slop that nobody cared about. The glory days of Trainwreck were long behind her, and she wasn't a bankable star anymore. She was still making the occasional TV show and comedy special, but the fire and momentum was long gone, the prestige of her public persona tarnished beyond repair. She'd gone from one of the leading voices in female comedy to a virtual pariah, disliked by audiences, distrusted by her peers, and discredited by movies.
There's people who also allege that she just slept around with a bunch of people who had money and they gave her a lot of money, or on the other hand, even gave her money even after she was failing.
studios. Amy Schumer is the perfect example of a celebrity who can dish it out but can't take it. A woman who founded her career on pushing boundaries but couldn't handle it when they started to push back. She was always happy to make jokes about everything and everyone around her, but in the end, the biggest joke of all was on her.
Ooh.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Her career was bought? Yeah, I would say so. It looks very forced in my eyes. Clappies in the chat. That was a good video. Yeah, her family came from wealth and, you know, my vagina this, my vagina that. If I started making vagina jokes, chat would honestly just leave. Instantly, like a million viewers negative, into the negatives. I don't know how she got away with it. When I was a kid and I saw her stand-up skits, I was like, this isn't even funny. You have a vagina? Unfortunate.